The street outside her apartment was completely quiet, almost too quiet for a Friday night in downtown Seattle. Maya stood by her kitchen window, holding her phone in one hand and a half-empty glass of water in the other. She had just finished a late shift, and all she wanted was silence. But the silence tonight felt different, like it was waiting for something. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Don't turn around yet. She froze. A small smile appeared on her face at first, probably a prank message. She had gotten spam texts before. But something about this one didn't feel random. The timing was too perfect, because at that exact moment, she heard something behind her. A soft, almost careful movement, like fabric brushing against wood. Maya slowly lowered her phone without turning her head. Her apartment was small, open kitchen, living room just a few steps behind her, no hiding spots, no place for someone to stand without being seen. Still, she whispered, "Hello?" No answer. Only the faint hum of her smart speaker in the living room. Then her phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Good. Don't look yet. Her throat tightened. She forced herself to breathe normally, telling herself it had to be a glitch or someone messing with her. But then something made her stomach drop. Her smart speaker lit up, even though she hadn't spoken. A voice came through it, not the usual assistant tone, but something slightly distorted, like it was struggling to match a human voice. It's already inside. Maya spun around instantly. Nothing. Empty living room, couch, coffee table, dark hallway leading to her bedroom, everything exactly where it should be. But her eyes caught something that made her heartbeat spike. Her security camera, the small one mounted in the corner, had a blinking red light. Recording. She didn't remember turning it on. Her phone buzzed again, but she didn't even look this time. Her attention was locked on the camera. And then it happened. Her own phone started speaking out loud. Not ringing, not playing audio. Speaking. A recorded version of her voice said, "I'm not alone in the apartment." Maya stumbled back, knocking her glass onto the counter. Water spilled everywhere, but she didn't even react. Because at that exact moment, her phone screen lit up with a live camera feed. But it wasn't showing the empty room anymore. It was showing her, standing behind herself. Maya's breath stopped completely. On the phone screen, she could see herself standing in the kitchen, exactly where she was. But there was a problem. The version of her on the screen wasn't copying her movements perfectly. It was slightly delayed, like it was waiting before it moved. Maya slowly lifted her hand in real life. The her on the screen lifted it a second later. A cold wave ran through her body. "No, no, this is not real," she whispered. She looked around the apartment again, this time more carefully. Every corner felt heavier, like the air itself was watching her. The smart speaker's light was still on, but now it wasn't pulsing randomly. It was steady, focused, as if it had locked onto her. Then her phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Turn around this time. Her fingers went numb. She didn't want to look. Every instinct in her body screamed not to move. But something inside her, fear mixed with confusion, made her slowly turn her head anyway. The living room looked the same. Couch, table, hallway. But now the hallway light flickered once. Just once. And in that single flicker, she saw it. A silhouette, standing at the far end of the hall. Tall, still, facing her. Maya blinked hard. It was gone. No, 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 she said under her breath, stepping backward into the kitchen. Her phone buzzed immediately again. Unknown number. You saw me. Her heart started pounding so loudly she could hear it in her ears. She grabbed the kitchen knife without thinking, not because she was brave, but because her body needed something solid to hold on to. The smart speaker suddenly made a soft static sound, then spoke again. But this time, the voice was different. It wasn't robotic anymore. It sounded like her. Exactly like her. I didn't mean to scare you." Maya froze. The voice continued, calm, too calm. "You're only seeing what I'm allowed to show you." Her phone screen flickered. The live camera feed changed again. Now it showed the hallway, empty. But the camera was moving slowly forward by itself, like someone was walking while holding it. Maya looked up towards the hallway in real life. Nothing there. But on the phone, the camera was getting closer to her kitchen, step by step. And then the camera stopped, right at the kitchen entrance, pointing directly at her, even though nobody was holding it. Maya's grip tightened around the knife so hard her knuckles turned white. The phone's camera feed was now perfectly steady, framing her kitchen doorway like a fixed eye that refused to blink. In real life, the hallway still looked empty, but the screen told a different story. Something was standing just outside the kitchen, not fully visible, just a slight distortion in the air, like heat rising off asphalt, except there was no heat. Maya took one slow step backward. The phone immediately updated. The thing on the feed moved forward by the exact same amount, matching her movement, not copying, tracking. Her throat went dry. Okay, this is just hacking," she whispered, trying to convince herself. "Someone is inside my network." But even as she said it, she knew it didn't explain the voice, or the reflection, or the delay in her own image. The smart speaker clicked again, a soft, deliberate sound, like someone tapping a microphone. Then her voice came out of it again, except this time it wasn't calm. It was closer to panic. "I can't stop it from seeing you." Maya shook her head. Stop doing that." She slammed her hand on the speaker. The sound cut instantly. Silence returned. For half a second, then every device in the apartment lit up at once. TV off, turned on. Microwave clock flashing rapidly, her phone brightness maxed out, and the security camera feed split into multiple angles. One showed the kitchen, one showed the hallway, one showed her bedroom. Maya hadn't opened any of these. Her breathing turned shallow, and then she saw it. In the bedroom feed, the bed was neatly made, but there was a shape under the blanket, as if someone was lying there very still, watching. Maya's hand started shaking. "No, I live alone," she said, more to herself than anything else. She slowly moved toward the bedroom door in real life, every step feeling heavier than the last. On the phone, the camera feed followed her movement perfectly. The hallway light flickered again, but this time she didn't look away, and in that flicker, she saw it again. Closer, not at the end of the hallway anymore, halfway down, standing perfectly still, head tilted slightly, like it was studying her. Maya whispered, "What do you want from me?" For the first time, the reply didn't come from her phone. It came from inside the room behind her, soft, right behind her ear. "I want you to see me completely." Maya didn't move. She couldn't, because she finally understood something horrifying. It wasn't trying to scare her from outside the apartment. It was already learning how she reacts from inside her own devices. Maya's entire body locked in place. The voice had come from so close behind her that she could feel the warmth of breath, yet there was nothing physically touching her. She forced herself to turn her head slowly. Nothing. Empty hallway. But the feeling didn't leave. It only moved. Now it felt like it was standing inside her bedroom instead. Her phone suddenly vibrated again. Unknown number. "You're doing better than the others." Maya's stomach dropped. "Others?" she whispered. The screen changed instantly. A new folder opened by itself. No input, no touch. Just a title. Live recordings. Inside were multiple clips, each one labeled with a time and a name. She saw names she didn't recognize, and then one detail made her blood run cold. Every video showed a different apartment, same pattern, same smart speaker, same flickering hallway light, same invisible presence, and in every single clip, the person was standing exactly where she was standing right now, watching their own screen. Maya dropped the phone slightly, her hands trembling violently. "This is not possible," she whispered. The smart TV in the living room suddenly switched to a new feed. Not static, not glitching, a live camera from outside the building, pointing directly at her apartment window, and then zooming in, slowly, deliberately, like something was adjusting focus manually. Maya stepped backward into the bedroom instinctively. The door creaked behind her as it closed on its own. Click. Locked. Her breath hitched. "No, no, no, no." She pulled the handle. It didn't move. From inside the room, her phone lit up again. Unknown number. "Now you can't leave the frame." The bedroom lights flickered once, then went dim. Only the glow of her phone remained, and in that glow, she saw something that wasn't on the screen before. A second shadow standing behind her in the reflection of the black TV screen. Tall, still, perfectly shaped like a human, but slightly out of alignment, like reality hadn't rendered it correctly. Maya didn't turn around this time. She already knew. The reflection moved first. Maya's breathing became shallow, almost silent. She didn't move a single muscle because she realized something terrifying. It wasn't reacting to sound anymore. It was reacting to presence. The shadow in the TV reflection stayed perfectly still for a moment, as if waiting for her to make the next mistake. Then her phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Good. You've learned not to look too fast. Maya's eyes stayed locked forward, refusing to give it any signal, but the apartment itself began to feel different, heavier, smaller, like the walls had slowly moved closer while she wasn't paying attention. The TV screen flickered. Now it showed her bedroom again, but from a different angle, a corner angle that shouldn't exist. And in that feed, she saw herself standing near the door, except she wasn't moving, and she wasn't breathing. Maya's lips trembled. "That's not me," she whispered. The image on the TV tilted its head slightly, as if hearing her. Then it smiled. Maya stumbled backward instinctively and immediately regretted it, because the real room shifted the moment she moved. The layout didn't change physically, but her perception did. The bed now felt closer to the wall. The door felt farther away. The space between objects was wrong. Her brain struggled to understand it, like her own memory of the room was being rewritten in real time. The smart speaker crackled again, but this time it wasn't her voice. It was a mix of voices layered together, different tones, different genders, all speaking at once. "We don't enter places." A pause. "We become them." The lights dimmed even further. Only the phone remained bright, like a spotlight forcing her attention forward. And then, her phone camera turned on by itself. Front camera, pointing at her face. Maya saw herself on the screen, pale, frozen, terrified. But behind her in the phone feed, the shadow stood closer than before, almost touching. Yet in real life, she still hadn't turned around. That was the rule. It didn't need her to look anymore. It just needed her to stay aware that it existed. Her phone vibrated one last time. Unknown number. Final stage. The screen split into two feeds. Left, her face. Right, her bedroom. And in the bedroom feed, her own body was already lying on the bed, eyes open, staring at the ceiling, waiting. Maya's mind went completely blank for a second. Her body was still standing near the door, but the screen was showing her lying on the bed, eyes open, unblinking, like she had already lost control of her own ending. Her knees weakened. No, no, that's not real, she whispered, but her voice didn't sound confident anymore. It sounded distant, like even she didn't believe herself. The bedroom feed on the phone slowly zoomed in on the version of her lying on the bed, and then that version of her blinked. Maya gasped. In real life, she hadn't moved at all, but the image on the screen sat up, slowly, like something waking up after a long sleep. The phone vibrated again. Unknown number. You understand now. Maya shook her head violently. No, stop it! Stop it! But the devices didn't listen. They were already synchronized. TV, phone, speaker, camera feed, all showing different angles of the same truth that didn't exist in one place anymore. The voice returned, but this time it wasn't coming from any device. It came from everywhere at once. We were never the only version. The bedroom door behind her creaked open slowly. Maya didn't dare turn, because she already knew what would happen if she confirmed it. But the reflection in the dark TV screen gave her no choice. She saw it. Another her standing in the doorway, perfectly still, watching, and then slowly tilting its head, just like the one before. Maya whispered, "What are you?" The answer came instantly. Not from behind her, not from the phone, but from inside the house itself, like the walls were speaking now. We are what your devices remember you to be. The lights flickered violently, one last time, and when they came back, Maya was gone from the real room. The apartment was empty, quiet, still, but every screen in the house stayed on, and on each one, Maya was still there. Different angles, different moments, all repeating, all watching. And the unknown number sent one final message. Next upload scheduled.
Hey guys, subscribe my channel for more videos.